Hello, I'm Nila Chakraborty. Welcome to SBW Talks, where strong women have real talks, share real stories, and keep it all the way real. This is the space where we drop the masks, unpack the layers, and speak from the heart. No filters, no fluff, just raw, honest conversations. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce Aneela Idnani. Anila is a mental health advocate, entrepreneur, and co founder of Habit Aware. After overcoming their struggles with body focused repetitive behaviors, which are called BFRBs, they co invented the Keen2 Smart Bracelet, a Time magazine best invention backed by NIH research. Through innovation, storytelling, and advocacy, Anila empowers others to break free from the shame and build self awareness. Anila believes that when we lead with love, we create a space for healing and find true peace. Welcome, Anila, to SBW Talks.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be able to be talking with you today and that this worked out and that the universe put us together.
I know. I'm so excited to have you. It's been an honor to get to know you before we even started this podcast, just to hear where you came from. Let's get started then. You've turned something so private and painful into something public and purposeful. What gave you the courage to do that?
Yeah, so just first to kind of reveal what that private secret was is I pull out my hair. So hair pulling is called trichotillomania, which is a mental health condition. And it started for me when I was in my early tweens, so probably around puberty. And it was just something I didn't really realize was happening, but I would be pulling, like in class or late at night while I was reading under the covers or just while watching TV. And, it felt good in the moment. This like zing in the brain, but the aftermath of the few seconds later of like my eyelashes are gone or, patches in my eyebrows, which are my main area for pulling. So I hid for a really long time because I thought I was alone. I thought I was weird. I thought I was messed up. I thought there was something wrong with me. And, we didn't have the internet back when I was growing up, so we didn't have the resources or the knowledge or any understanding of what this was. And so it was kind of just easier to hide and to make sure nobody knew what was happening. And then a couple of years ago, I was pregnant with my first son and pulled out an entire eyebrow, and my husband caught me. And he said, Anila, where are your eyebrows? Like, what's going on? And I finally shared my hair pulling secret with him. And in the coming weeks, he took to the internet to understand what this condition was. And then one day I'm sitting on the couch and I'm pulling while we're watching TV, and he gently grabbed my hand because he noticed. I didn't notice because it's so subconscious, but he noticed. And that was like this aha moment of, oh, I wish I had something that notified me. And I literally wrapped my fingers around my wrist like a bracelet. And we went back to the internet. Nothing was out there. So we built it, and then it started helping people. And knowing that we were helping people, knowing that we were changing people's lives, knowing that we were shifting people's conversations from shame and blame to understanding what these behaviors are and how to take control of them and reigniting people's self-love and confidence, that's what keeps us going to keep ideating, keep innovating, keep supporting the community.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, you're doing a wonderful job. But tell me, how does this wristlet work?
Yeah, so it's got sensors inside that are looking for sort of the angle of the bracelet, the speed, the motion, and using a mobile app, the person trains it for their specific behavior. So this is mine. And then it'll vibrate when it senses that. So you could do for like hair pulling, you can do for nose picking, for nail biting, for skin picking. These are all sister conditions. So the umbrella term that you mentioned, body-focused repetitive behaviors, it's basically anything where you're using your hands and your body to self-regulate in a way that is, again, feels good in the moment, but because of that aftermath, you're trying to stop. It's like you don't really want to be doing it. And so the bracelet uses that gesture detection to bring awareness through a vibration. And that vibration is a hug on the wrist. It's not punishing. It's not yelling at you. It's not, nagging you. That mindset you have to kind of have to say, this is my buddy. When it vibrates, it's telling me to pause, to slow down. It's that cue to chill
Just relax.
for a minute.
Yeah, just relax.
and take stock of what's happening and choose healthier, soothing strategies for them.
How did you come up with this product idea?
That was it. It was literally an aha moment on the couch. My husband's in finance, I'm in marketing, and we tried to tinker with soldering irons and coding with Python and couldn't find anything. But we had moved here to the Minneapolis community a few years earlier. And through my work in advertising, I was getting into the tech scene here. Because I was working on digital products like websites and mobile apps and stuff. And so kind of knew technologically it was possible. And so just started asking friends within the community, do you know someone? Do you know someone? Do you know someone? And then with the grace of the universe, our two technical co-founders, John and Kirk, literally came to us, literally were gifted to us from the universe. And with the four of us together, we built the first prototypes. They started working for me. That gave us confidence to keep going. And then just sort of every little door that kept opening, every window that kept opening, we just kept going until we got to market in 2017.
Wow. And did you test it on other people or just yourself?
No, absolutely. 100% part of the process is making sure that it works for other folks. And so as I was, as we were coming up with this idea, I not only had to share my hair pulling secret, I had to share my business idea. But as I was doing that, people would then come up to me at my ad agency and be like, look at my nails, I have it too. Or a friend came up to me and said, look at my hair, and it was the part was all she was covering it, and so we were slowly making lists of who could help us test and who could help us give feedback to improve it in those early stages of prototyping. So absolutely, there's 1 in 20 people has hair pulling, skin picking, nail biting, or similar conditions. So through these online communities and through organizations that do conferences, we went to the conferences, we went to the communities and started getting their input as well, and working with them and working with treatment professionals that truly understand these conditions right from the get-go. It wasn't just the four of us, in a silo. It was literally working with people with these conditions and people and experts who treat it, so that we could make sure that we're building the best thing out there for folks.
No, this is such a great innovation. Did you think of possibly going to Shark Tank? Because I think so many people really need to be aware of this.
Yeah, we would love to go on Shark Tank. I think one day it'll happen for us. It's been we've definitely tried. We went to Consumer Electronics Show in 2018 and waited in line for a very long time, and we've done a few different rounds of that, and I'm hoping one day it will happen for us. Yeah,
It will happen. It will. And do you wear this 24 hours a day?
Yeah, so I don't actually wear mine anymore because I now have trained my brain to be aware of when my hands are playing with my eyebrows, so I can take control without needing the bracelet anymore. And that's the goal, is that you are learning to retrain these neural pathways away from pulling, picking, nail biting to the healthier mechanisms. When for me, drinking water is mine during the day.
And why not? It's good for your health,
Yeah, exactly. It's the best strategy during the day, and sleep is my other main strategy. Just go to bed, because I would stay up till 2-3 in the morning working late and pulling, and now I'm just it can wait. Tomorrow's another day.
What I was going to ask you, when does this usually start? And
not enough research to know when it really starts, but anecdotally, I see it in puberty, and then I see it again. For myself, it got worse in pregnancy, and then I see it again in older women, menopause. So to me, I really think there's something going on with the hormonal levels that kind of instigates these behaviors. But that's not to say that, but research also shows that it's prevalent in both men and women almost equally. So there's just not enough research. It's this condition is almost as old as I am, in a sense, in terms of understanding it, in terms of it having a name, in terms of people talking about it and treatment professionals looking at it.
What is this called?
Body focused repetitive behaviors is the umbrella.
Okay.
And then under that, hair pulling is known as trichotillomania. Skin picking is called dermatillomania. And nail biting is called onychophagia.
And how does the individual know that they have this? Because you said your husband found you doing this. Because if I personally am doing this, I think this is normal behavior.
Yeah, so people just see it as a bad habit because there's lack of awareness, there's lack of education, there's lack of knowledge. People even OCD, for example, obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Everyone knows the acronym, but we don't use it right. We don't actually know what it is unless we have it. And that's kind of that lack of awareness of these conditions is one of our hurdles, right? It's like I always say, if 1 in 20 has this, if it's not you, it's someone you love, right?
Right.
Like, and it's more than one person you love, right? And so we are hurting in hiding. We are hurting in shame. We are hurting in fear of judgment. You know, you have kids with this and their parents don't know that it's a condition and they're yelling at them and they're saying, stop doing that. And they're saying, that's gross. And they're saying, don't you want to get married one day, right? And it's like, with that kind of pressure on you, you're not going to go back to that parent for help, right?
No,
And
no.
so, but the parent doesn't know any better, right? And so this work, like just talking with you, whoever watches this is now going to have a little bit more of understanding and compassion that they can now take to their child, their husband, their spouse, their friend at work, and say, oh, I didn't realize that they were going through this. And also recognize, well, I have struggles in my own life. Maybe someone smokes, maybe someone drinks. You know, these are all ways that we, in this busy, crazy world, we are trying to get back to baseline, and we all choose oftentimes unhealthy ways.
Can we get this to doctors, like pediatricians? Because I mean, this is something that starts from childhood or teenage years,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, it can start, it doesn't discriminate. Men, women, you know, black, brown, white, purple,
No.
age, it does not discriminate. It is, and 100% part of the work we do is awareness. Our main focus is, even treatment professionals, there's just not enough treatment professionals. So doing outreach to psychologists and therapists to say, hey, have you met BFRBs? I bet you have. You just don't know it. You know, your patients are maybe coming to you for anxiety or OCD or depression or just generalities, but they're hiding this from you. And so if we can educate them, and then absolutely pediatricians, we call them a first line of defense. So it's really important. That's part of our work, is to try to get that outreach. But we do have, 2,500 treatment professionals that recommend the product to their patients because it's helping with that real time awareness. And then with a therapist, you can actually do the work. You know, you can't do the work if you don't know what's happening.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed that you realized what was going on and you seeked help, because a lot of people are scared to seek help.
Yeah, and it's that fear, right? I mean, in my 20s, I did seek help, and the person was like, "Oh, I told them I pull out my hair, and they were like, "Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about your dad." And my dad had passed away from cancer, and so I was dealing with a lot of grief around that, and I was like, "Well, they're connected. Like you can't just be like, no, we're just going to talk about this sliver of your pie when the whole pie needs to be addressed."
Right.
Yeah.
I think mental health awareness, what we were discussing too before this, has come a long way from
100.
when we were kids or our parents' years.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I was growing up, I still picture the NSYNC song, I Drive Myself Crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's like straitjackets, padded rooms,
Yeah.
stretchers, and being strapped down, and it was that extreme of mental illness. And I think now, post COVID, we've all come to realize, wow, mental health is health. Mental health is linked to physical health. I mean, like in Indian culture, East Asian culture, we've known this for centuries, but it's finally like research approved, so we're good to go now.
No, this is like amazing what you're doing. And I think and maybe even schools, like teachers. I mean, who do kids
Yep.
spend the most time with?
Yeah. It's really hard for teachers. I still feel for teachers because their job is to teach, and they have all this extra responsibility on them,
Right.
right? To like be able to kind of, it might, like, kudos to folks who go into teaching, because you go into it thinking, I'm going to educate the next generation, and then it's really like, no, I have to like just hug them, I have to just like make sure they're okay. And
Right.
but yeah, we definitely have teachers. We see school districts ordering from us. We see pediatricians, hairstylists. Like, there's so many skincare professionals, dermatologists. These are the ways that if those folks are aware, not that then they can solve it, but they can make that person aware of the resources of folks like us, of treatment professionals, etc.
Now, my question to you is, Anila, you might have this condition, but a lot of people don't know what it's called. Like, as you said, behavioral repetitive behavior. So what do people, like, in general call it? Or is there like no
Yeah.
name for it?
Yep. So people will say nail biting, hair pulling, skin picking, right? It's very much what it is. And that's how I found out. When in my 20s, So for about 10, 15 years, I didn't know what it was. And then finally, one day in my 20s, I went to the internet and I typed in, why do I pull out my hair? Right. So that's how people are going to talk about it, or, type it and that kind of thing. And then they find that, oh, it's a mental health condition, right? That big word, trichotillomania, what happened to me. And then I was like, oh, I can't, like, shut the computer. Like, I can't, my brain cannot handle that in this moment at age, in my 20s with all this other stuff going on in my life at that time. Like, I did not need a mental health diagnosis on top of that. And so it actually further shut me down a little bit. But again, I think the timing is different now, that now there's actually resources, there's solutions, there's people in the community. There's a huge, Instagram and Facebook, there's online communities where people are talking about these things. So you can find the resources now and you can find the people.
And
Yeah.
where can someone who has this condition, I should say, where can they find the product? Do they have to get a prescription from the doctor?
No, so we're direct to consumer. You can, visit habitaware.com and check out all of our resources. We have the bracelet, we have e-courses, we have an online community where we take you from shame to confidence, from lack of control to control and awareness. And we're direct to consumer because we're just making you aware, right? We're just saying your hands are not where you want them to be. And then it's on you to do that work. And so we're able to, people find us. People find us through the online groups, talking about it, sharing their experience. People find us, when they're, again, searching for things like, why do I pull out my hair? Their treatment professionals may be recommending it. And so that's how people find us. And
it's
through
habit aware. Okay, we're going to put
.com.
that up on the screen
Yep.
right there so people can go and order. And they can always contact you too directly if they have questions.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. We're very community first. Like I said, we started with building with the community, the treatment professionals, the people who with these pain points, testing the bracelet before we went to market. So yeah, we're very community oriented, and I think that's just like in this world of faceless technology. I think it, especially with mental health, knowing who you're getting and knowing who's behind the company, I think is very important, that folks understand we're on a mission to really truly help you.
The kids can get it too, correct?
Yep. Yeah. We see as young as age 8 is what we say, but we've seen 7-year-olds use it and take control. We've seen, like we say 8 to 88 is kind of our age range.
Show the wristband to our viewers so they can see.
Yeah. So it just kind of, it's meant to be discreet, kind of looking like a Fitbit-ish. So you can just say it's your activity tracker and you're not lying. You're just, it's just a different activity than what someone might be thinking.
And some of the kids might want to have it colorful because they want something.
Yeah. So we have it in this charcoal color, and then we have a lilac color.
And if maybe you'll be at a point where people are actually ordering the colors that they want.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
What else do you want our viewers to know? Because we're almost at the end of our podcast, but what do you want our viewers to know?
So I think the biggest thing is this idea of awareness, right? I couldn't change that behavior until I was aware it was happening. And the whole premise of the bracelet is to kickstart that awareness, to then pause and choose what we call, choose a healthy, soothing strategy. We call that choosing love, right? Choosing right by yourself. And to me, that methodology of awareness, to pause and choose love, that transcends these conditions. So even if you're, don't have these conditions, don't walk away. Like, you can still leverage this idea of, when I move slow enough in life, I can meet the moment with love instead of fear, instead of anger, instead of frustration. It's helped me with my parenting. It's helped me with, like, driving here in Minneapolis. As someone who's originally from New York, I'm like, come on, go. And now I'm just like, okay, like I'm getting there. There's days where I'm still like, come on, go. But I'm learning, right, that, like, oh, if I just slow down, I can be a better version of me, which is meeting the moment with love. And that's the biggest takeaway, is that we all have that power in us to not let fear lead.
Yeah, you just have to find that solution and believe in yourself, which you did. And I'm so happy that you found a solution for yourself and for others.
I'm very grateful that we've been able to do this work. I really, truly believe the universe has been on our side and opening doors for us to make this thing happen. Like I said, with even just our co-founders finding us and meeting us, and just these, it's just been amazing to see. The things that I could have never made happen on my own have happened, and it's just been such a blessing to be able to do this work and to also see the results that people are having, finding a benefit and a value in it and changing their own lives.
Yeah, and it's just you need just something to make you aware. You're doing this unconsciously, and it's like just a little, it's almost like those pets we have, the animals, the dogs that can check if you're going to have, hey, you're going to be okay. And you just need a little reminder to stop what you're doing.
To
Yeah.
stop and take control and choose life.
Right. No, thank you, Anila. We're so honored and grateful to have you because I think you're doing an amazing job. You found the solution. You're helping others. And as you said, love comes first. Don't be afraid of fear. And viewers, we are going to have all the information of Anila available on our podcast, her website, her email, her phone details. Reach out to her. If you have friends, family, and this is available all over the US. And are you shipping all over the world too?
Oh yeah, we ship all over the world. I just had a call yesterday with someone from Nigeria. We ship all over the world. It's been amazing, the reach and the people we've been able to help.
Is this selling on Amazon too?
We are not on Amazon yet, but we'll be getting back on pretty soon. Yeah.
That might be a good option for you.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And anything else you want to tell our viewers, Anila?
That's it. Thank you so much for having me and for allowing me to come on and share my story and help us raise awareness. It's moments like these that help us, help other people. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Viewers, we're going to get this podcast out. Thank you for listening and viewing. And again, please reach out to Anila. We'll have all her details. Go help someone that may need this or yourself. Don't be embarrassed. As you can, she has an amazing personality. She's really fun to talk to, and you can tell she has a positive vibe. So thank you.